And welcome to a new day with psychic medium Angelina Diana. I'm Angelina. Thank you for joining us again today, and I want to thank you for your emails and your support of this program. It really means a lot to me when there's a connection that you relate to from home and you're able to say that that particular reading or that story has inspired you to become a personal spirit communicator yourself. And that's why I think it's really important that when we do have an experience, we have a safe space and an open place to feel like we can share it. I remember when I started to do this work in 2001, even prior to that, when I was in radio in 1998, I was a newscaster, and I didn't dare tell people on the air back then, gee, I'm starting to connect to people who have passed, or gee, I'm starting to get psychic things. Back in 1998, news was a little more credible, so you couldn't go on the air and say things like that. Today, it's a little different. So the space that we're in today, in today's society, we're more apt to at least hopefully be open to the concept. What we need is the proof and the evidence, and I think that that's where a medium comes in. A medium is someone who connects to the other side. A psychic is someone who works with someone's life, their issues, the things that are going on. And in this show, we're going to focus on mediumship. And when I work with folks, I'm hopeful that I can bring some evidence through so that you see how spirit works and it inspires you to become a personal spirit communicator. And I have two lovely people here that have volunteered to be read and to share some stories. And I know that we have a story that we're going to hear, but I am drawn to this lovely woman here. And I know that we didn't speak or we didn't have a conversation, but I do feel three spirits around you, so I'd like to honor them. I do feel like there is a spirit coming through that's thanking you for taking care of them, and that your ability to care for them, make sure that they're okay. It was a medical issue. I'm seeing a lot of medical signs and things connected, and you were very weighed down by this. Is this correct? Is this true? Okay. I'm so sorry, sweetheart. Oh, she's prepared. I feel like they did have a throat issue or something prevented them from breathing clearly, and you were either focusing on this or watching this a lot. You were very attentive towards this. Is that correct? A caretaker. They're making me feel some things. And when a medium works, I see, hear, feel, taste, and smell what they're sending me. What I'm getting from them is they have a very sensitive energy to me. They feel female to me. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. They do have a very strong personality, though. That's why I'm a little hesitant to know their sex, but they were kind enough to say, I'm female, but I was strong here. So I feel like they were a strong female when they were here. Is that correct?
She was,
okay.
Yes.
So I want to honor that. They keep on making me feel like I had head injuries or something bothered me around my head. I feel itchy. It's like I want to scratch, and my hands are being taken away.
Yeah.
And I feel like you're bringing some comfort to that area. Do you understand that? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. But I keep on getting drawn to my throat area, and I'm asking her, what's wrong? What's wrong? She's going, she was watching my breathing. She made me feel comfortable. So I feel like there was either an intubation or something about I've got an obstruction here, or something feels like I can't breathe as easily. I'm a little labored, and you paid a lot of attention to that, and you helped them with that. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Okay, so I feel like right off the bat, this strong female has come to you going, she needs to know this because she's unsure, she's uncertain. So we've got a strong person saying you need to know that the decisions that you made were certain. You made the right course of action, because they make me feel like they were unaware and not aware of what they were doing for themselves. You were that person, the caretaker, as you put it, but I'm seeing the medical person, because I'm seeing a lot of medical, weighed down by a lot of medical things that you had to make decisions about. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Now, I also feel like there were stomach issues involved. I don't know if they had to be fed this way, or there was something about needing nourishment through the stomach, or I can't eat, my stomach hurts. There's something to do with the stomach not being quite right either. So not only did you have to work with the breathing, like they're not even telling me what it is. And I'm saying, like, what happened? She's saying everything happened. Like there were so many decisions. And I'm saying, you have to get to the point. She goes, the point is not only breathing, eating. And what are the main things we need to survive here? We have to eat.
And breathe.
We have to breathe. You know, so to me, that's a bigger story, that you had to care for them on every aspect, correct?
Mm-hmm.
She's thanking you. She's saying, please be steadfast and know that you made the right decision. She makes me feel like she taught you a lot. She's a teacher to you. And she feels very maternal and very caring, but very strong. And she makes me feel like you got very strong in this time period. I feel like she's with her dad. So is her father passed?
No,
Okay.
grandfather.
Okay, he's coming through like that. So I feel like grandfather has a strong fatherly presence. You know, it's like all of a sudden I feel like, all right, dad's here. That's what it feels like. And she responds to him this way. Is there like a Carrie, Karen, Catherine, C or K connection to her? She makes me hear that.
No.
Okay, it's what I'm
Not
hearing.
that I recognize.
I want you to
no.
remember that. Sometimes they bring that up. It's either someone around them or someone they want to say hello to. And I feel like she was into puzzles when she was here.
Yes.
She likes puzzles. Because as she's saying, she's going, yeah, say hello to the Casey, and she spreads out this puzzle, and she's putting it together as she talks to me. So she's like a whiz, who's like
Yeah.
very smart, right?
Multitask.
So, there we go. So that's a multitask. So see, as a medium, I'm just saying what she's doing. I'm interpreting it. You go, she's a multitasker. That's why Spirit is showing that. So she's the main one coming through. I do feel I feel a male and I feel another female around her. I feel like it's their way of letting you know that there's protective, maternal, and paternal and maternal energy around her. She's got what feels like parental energy around her. And I feel like you need to know that. And I feel like she's saying that so that you feel that comfort and that connection. Now, did she either raise dogs or love dogs, or she's got a dog with her?
She always had a dog.
Always had a dog. All right, so she's saying, I got the dog here. Now, I don't know, I think it's called a Dachshund, the hot dog.
Yeah.
Isn't that terrible? I don't know the name. She had a Dachshund?
No.
Oh.
A small dog like that.
A
but
small dog
no-
like
yeah.
that. Okay, you understand this too? Okay, so know that we did not say the two of you come up at the same time. You saw the process, the audience. You have a story you're going to share. I was just drawn to you. Spirit has a plan here. So, and unfortunately, that plan might not fit the half-hour program we have. So I want to encourage the two of you to talk afterwards if you're open to it, if there's some similarities. And Spirit will always bring people together for a reason. But I am still drawn to you, so I have to honor that this female is coming through. She is so here for you because you were there for her. You know, that you need to know that. And I feel strongly the puzzle thing, the multitasking, these are things that she did well, that she makes me feel like there's no gift in saying to anyone, gee, the gifts you got because they died. That's not what I'm saying. What she's saying is, you've become a good multitasker now. You've become someone who can listen and do at the same time. And you learned a lot of that by taking care of her. Correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So she's trying to say, look, when you're doing these things, I'm helping you. I'm helping you. I'm helping you. She is a helper. It's like she wants to help everyone around here, even people she doesn't know. She's being helpful to me in how she's communicating. When she gets excited about something, she can't keep her words straight. She can't. There's a bubbly excitement when she wants to talk to you about something, right?
Right.
There's like this exuberance. You know, obviously when she was sick, when she was explaining that to me, that wasn't coming through. Now that we validate her, she's like, oh no, I'm still that exuberant person. I still have that positive energy. I'm still ready to go out there and tackle the world. And I know I'm not here physically, but I'm here to say I'm going to help you do that. So I feel like she's a helper. And the things that we do well when we're here physically, that's why we're here in this, what I call this spiritual classroom, this place of, I call it spiritual gymnastics is what I call it. We learn here, and the things that we do well that are based out of love and connection, we get to continue to do when we're on the other side and we excel at it. We're like the best at it in the world. The things that we didn't do so well, We get to look at the people that do them well or have the same personalities and overcome those things, and we get to provide that healing or that aspect of things. She's thanking you, not only for taking care of herself, but how you've recently made a concerted effort to take care of yourself. You've done some things in your life, health-wise, recently. Is that correct?
Correct.
She's saying, you know what? I have to compliment her on that because I wasn't healthy or feeling good. Now she's looking at her life and she's doing it. Even though she's missing me, look at her take good care of herself. And she's able to bring healing into her life because she couldn't take care of herself the way she wanted to. So she's telling me a little bit something about her illness. She's not telling me what the illness is, but she's telling me if I could have used my exuberance. When I think of exuberance, I think of youth.
Right.
And she couldn't use that here as much as she wanted to.
No.
And that's tragic for us. That's tragic. And I feel her feeling you through that. She's feeling you through, like, that's tragic for her. But look at her, despite the fact that she lost me, she's still taking care of herself. And this is a recent thing.
Yes.
You said, I'm recent. So see, Spirit knows your thoughts, and they know what you're feeling. I don't know you, right? I don't know this
No.
stuff. These are personal things that your loved ones know. This is evidence to let you know that she's around you. She's taking care of you as far as her exuberance, because she had that as a gift. But she couldn't take care of herself health-wise, and the fact that even though you're grieving, and grief is something that we never get a cure from, we just learn to balance in life, you're balancing it to the point where you're saying, gosh darn it, I'm going to start taking care of myself. This is something she's going, oh, wow, that's something I couldn't do, and look what she's doing through difficulty. Do you follow? Do you follow?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Please know that if you can't do it for yourself, every day you get up and take care of yourself, you're helping her more. Even though we have health and healing when we cross, there's still lessons or things that we didn't get to accomplish. You're accomplishing them for her, and she's thanking you for that. Now, this puzzle is more of something more. This puzzle is what you're still trying to put together about why she passed. You still have question marks. Is that correct?
Correct.
She knows this. Because she's a very smart girl. She's funny in a way that she's able to go, yeah, I like puzzles, and I'm good at them. That's what she's doing to me. Like, whoa, where's that confidence coming from? But she's saying, and I'm going to help her put the puzzle together as far as how I passed and why. I'm going to help her. So know that it's kind of, we look at it as an ironic twist, right? She's good at puzzles, and she passes with a puzzle. I know that sounds strange, but that's evidential to Spirit. Know that she's going to help you put the pieces together. She's good at that. So I hope this helps you in the short time that we're together. I know I could read you for 5 hours and it's never going to take away your grief, but I hope you can see the evidence. And I hope this helps you in your continuing journey to connect to her and the people around her. Thank you for sharing that,
Thank you.
for honoring me. And I can feel her connection to you. And I feel it to be a very protective, joyful one. She brought a lot of joy to you here. And even though we miss the physical, she's still saying, find the joy, find the joy, find the joy. She's that exuberant.
Always was.
There we go. So that validates her. And the thing about the dogs, I mean, it's almost like she's saying, I could let the floodgates open and let them all in if you want. I'm like, no, it's okay. It's almost like she would bring you towards the fun.
Right.
She's doing that now. It's
Yep.
like, I'm ready to like hear your story. She's like, oh no, you want to see what I can do? I can let the dogs in. Want me to let the dogs in? I'm
Yeah.
like, no, honey. We got the validation. Let's go here. Okay. But please, I feel that. Please know that she's with you.
Thank you.
Okay. Your story, sir, I know there's a man around you that's passed that you're very close to. Is that correct? I want to go on Dad's side. Grandfather, you're very close to?
My mother's brother,
Oh, that's interesting to me because I'm feeling an older man, so I need to honor that Dad's dad has passed. Is that correct? Your father's father?
oh yes.
Okay, he's coming through with a heritage thing. I just need to honor that in the time that we're together. There is something very specific about you're curious about your family tree. Like you're insatiable about it. Is that true? You like want to understand it, or there's a question mark about it, or you want to understand more about Dad's side?
Well, it's very difficult because my father's parents came from Russia,
Okay.
the Ukraine, and
That's
my
the
mother's
question mark.
parents came from Poland.
Okay.
And
Question
it's
mark.
interesting, though, that my story involves heritage.
I'm telling you, the other side is incredible and how they come through. We did not talk at all.
No?
The other side, you have to honor that they know what you're going to talk about already. So there's evidence right there. So heritage, go for it. I'm astounded. Go ahead.
Well, my mom passed away in
Oh,
1998.
I'm so sorry.
And a week after she died, my son and I went to New York City to see a taping of The Prairie Home Companion
Oh.
with Garrison Keillor.
Sure, it's a great show.
A live performance.
Sure, sure.
This is 1 week after she died.
Wow.
And it was his Christmas show. He does several shows in November and December leading up to Christmas. And he had a guest on. Now, Garrison Keillor talks about the Midwest and Lutheran humor and
Yep.
what have you, but his guest was a composer and a musician named Walter Bobby. And Walter Bobby, it turns out, happens to have had a Polish heritage. And he asked Walter Bobby to sing his favorite Christmas carol.
Okay.
And the Christmas carol that Walter Bobby sang was in Polish, and it was my mother's favorite
Oh,
Christmas carol.
that's beautiful.
So I felt her presence so strongly. My religious background told me to believe in life after death, but I got a call from Mom right there,
There you go.
in New York
There you
City
go. There
and
you go.
saying, hey, here I am.
That's fabulous. And we have to say to ourselves, you know, religion is a structured thing to hopefully help us believe in something bigger than us. But just because you were brought up, like I was brought up Catholic, but my mother was brought up Catholic. My dad's Italian, he's Catholic. My mother's mother was Catholic and Polish, by the way. But my grandmother, who was Polish and Catholic, would read cards. She would take a regular deck of playing cards and do readings on me and tell me, like, you know, Thursday you're going to have a math test. You know, I'm like, how did you know that? You know, then my mother would make me go home and do the rosary. You know, so I had this kind of dichotomy. So know that even though Mom, being Polish, was probably Catholic, you know, even when you cross, you can still say, oh, I'm going to send a sign to my son. You know, and that's a beautiful affirmation for you. And even though her religion aspects are still honored on the other side, signs can still happen and occur through those things. Now, your mother was into like a sewing machine, or was she into the sewing machine? 'Cause
Oh,
she's
yes.
got the sewing machine behind you. So I'm hearing like the, you know that sound? Well, some of you are so young, I don't think you know the sound. I know the sound from my grandmother, but she's showing me that.
She was a very skilled seamstress. She would make my sister's clothing and her own clothing.
So
and
know
it
that
was,
she's behind you, and that's her
Yeah.
way of saying, I'm here, son. But it's interesting, she doesn't speak much, your mother. She's got a quiet nature when she's into it. It's almost like, it's not that she's shooing me away saying, don't spend any time with me. What she's doing is saying, no, when I'm concentrating, I'm concentrating. You know, so I feel like that's evidence for you to let you know that your mom's with you. I know you alluded to your uncle being passed. I'm not sensing him, but it doesn't mean that he's not there. I think it's very apropos that mother's showing me things, because I feel like it's her way of saying, yeah, I'm here with the sewing machine, and yeah, I was there during the show that you saw in New York City. Did she have two colored eyes, or is there something about the story about you wondering, why are some of my family members, they don't have the same color eyes I have?
No, I thought my sister was adopted, but that, you know, every brother thinks that.
Well, not really. I think it's interesting that your mother is saying, do you think that there's a difference in the eye color? That's funny. I don't know, not in my family. I don't think we think we're adopted. So I think that's her way of saying, no, that's your daughter, or son, or sister.
Yeah.
That meaning that's my daughter. That's what I heard.
Oh, yeah.
And that just because you have a different look or different anything doesn't mean that you're not connected or not there. The other thing is she's showing me is her own version of her family. So she wrote down either a family tree, or there's something written down in a document that you saw that went, huh, how are we connected there? she makes me feel like she made her own attempts of understanding her own family. Does that make sense to you?
It was very difficult because there were very few records from the old country.
I respect that, but for some reason she's telling me that it's written down somewhere.
Well, we had some old pictures
Okay. Okay.
from the old country.
Okay, so I feel like she's making me feel like if you look hard enough, you'll see it written down there.
Okay.
So I feel like she in her own way is trying to gravitate you towards what you have to put it in order. I also feel like she's a woman of wishfulness. It's like she wishes so much for everybody. And she's got that wish, that wish, that wish. And everyone scurried around for her before she passed to make sure that everything was in order for her or that she could get things done for other people. And she makes me feel like she was unable to accomplish that to her satisfaction. Does that make
Yes,
sense?
she was very ill at the end.
Sorry to hear that. Some people, they've got it all planned, done. This is the way I want it, do this, that, that. She's telling me, no, he knows I'm a mom of wishes. I wanted things done for my family, and I couldn't get them done. But she's also said, you all did the best you could to make sure things were done. So she sees an effort that you made and the things that you tried to accomplish for her. So I feel her energy to be strong and family oriented as far as her history is concerned. But her ability to do for her family is the strongest thing. Yeah, she spoke. When I said she's quiet, doesn't mean she never spoke. She's showing me in the short time that we're together that she's a doer by that sewing thing and that reference. So please know that your mom's okay. And I want to thank you for sharing that story because it's very true. We get those little itsy bitsy signs, and what do we tend to do? That's nothing, right? But when you can have such a profound loss of your mom and be courageous enough to say, well, gosh darn it, we're going to go to New York and enjoy ourselves during this difficult time. What does the other side do? Here's a sign for you. When we can try to work past our grief, which is hard to do, grief is something you balance. If we could try to move past it or put it to the side and do the things that, remember, your mom wished things for you. She would have wanted you to go to New York. You did that, and she goes, here I am. I have so many stories that I could share. I wish I had the time. But what I want you to try to do, our audience here and at home, if you're really missing someone, close your eyes and think of that one thing that they love to do. Or that one thing that you're going, gosh, I really wish we can have the cookout again. Or I really wish we can go to New York. Or I really wish, I wish. Say to yourself, I know I can't do it with you physically, but gosh darn it, I'm going to go do it, and you're going to be with me in spirit. When we can have our spirit meet up with theirs, meaning we are brave and we do the things that they used to love to do, they will find a way to show you a very unique sign to let you know that they're with you all the time. I hope that helps you. What we're going to do is we're going to take a short break. I know that a lot of you are watching this program going, gosh, you know, this is something I really love watching public access television. There's some interesting programming. Have you ever thought yourself to be a volunteer for public access television? Here's a little information on how you can get involved. Thank you so much.
Quick question. Do you know where this majestic facility is located? I bet you didn't know we were still here. Getting started is easy, and coming down and filling out forms. That's right. You can use our studio or Pro HD cameras, all for... Before you know it, you're in the editing booth smashing clips together like a modern-day Charlie Chaplin. He didn't have Final Cut Pro or Adobe Premiere, but we do. Let's get your idea to broadcast. So check us out. Bring your story to life. Here at Cox Public Access. You produce it, we air it.
So much. I hope you found that mini commercial interesting, and I want to encourage you to get involved because I feel so blessed that there's volunteers here helping this program happen, and you get to learn how to run a camera, or you understand production, or if you're interested in your own show. It's really a wonderful, wonderful way to get started, so I hope you get involved. You know, sometimes when I'm out in public and people say, oh, I saw you at the event, or thank you for this, or thank you for that. One of the biggest questions I always get is, do you see anyone around me? Is anybody here? I ain't see anybody now. And I often have to say, oh, sorry, I don't. And it isn't that when a medium says that, it isn't that there's no one around you. You have to remember mediums are people too. And that there are moments that, just like in any other aspect of life, you have to learn balance. And you can't be on 24/7. You can't be reaching people who have passed or doing psychic readings all the time. And I think it was because of this work, learning that balance, that it finally brought balance into my life. So I want to give a suggestion to you. When is the last time you turned your mind off from work? When was the last time you turned your mind off from the bills you have to pay? When was the last time you decided, gee, I'm going to forgive that person because I've been holding this grudge forever? We hold so much in our mind about the physical world, and 99% of the time it's because of someone else's intention, what someone did to us, what we have to do for someone, or the things that we have to do for someone else because they asked us to do it and we happen to be a healer and a helper and we feel we have to do it. I want you to try something for the next week. When you wake up in the morning, say to yourself, gee, I know I have to go to work today, but when I get home, I'm going to turn my mind off for a half hour and go for a walk. Or when I wake up in the morning, I'm not going to slam that alarm clock off and get right into the shower. I'm going to take 5 minutes and make a wish list of things that I want to accomplish for myself next week. Or what I love to do, and it's something my mother taught me before she passed away. She's on the other side, she's always with me, but she passed from cancer. And I remember her saying to me, Angelina, I wish I had one more spring. And I said, Mom, if you had one more spring, what would you do? And she made this whole list. And I accomplished so far maybe 3 of those things off the 12 things on that list. But what I want you to do while you're still in your body is when you wake up in the morning, find 5 or 6 things that you have gratitude about. It could be that you're happy that you're still breathing. Could be happy that you have animals. It could be happy that you have a job. Do that and allow that energy to be your calling card to attract the things you want in your life. I want to thank you so much for joining me. And I want to thank you so much for being a part of this program, the audience. And also, if you get a chance to email me at info@angelinadiana.com, I would love to hear from you. Thank you for watching A New Day. And remember, your loved ones are only a heartbeat away. Take care.